Hi guys, welcome back to the Pretty Nerdz podcast. This is your girl Falan DeAnn.
And this is your girl, Nay.
How's everything been going in this hot summer weather?
Um, Honestly, I mean, I've been good with the weather. I love the heat. I hate the winter time and the cold. So, I have no complaints when it comes to summertime. But as far as me, man, I've been like super anxious lately. I don't know what it is. I think the whole being in the house thing is starting to really eat at me now because I've just been super, super, super anxious. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna try like meditation or something. See if that helps. What about yourself?
I'm the same. I enjoy warm weather. I don't have any complaints other than mosquitoes, but um, yeah, that's pretty much. I'm about in the same boat. I'm like anxious as well. It's like just I don't know. I keep telling like myself in my head, I'm like, bro, these people are gonna give you a whole baby to go home with by yourself. So yeah, we'll see.
You'll be alright. You got it. And besides, you got enough people around you who got you, so you'll be alright.
Yeah, we'll try. But yeah, other than that, everything is fine.
Well, I guess we can go ahead and jump into the hot topics for this week.
Mm,
So obviously we did not have a show last week. So, side note, sidebar, whatever to all the folks out there. Some of these topics were topics we were gonna cover last week. So if you're like, oh, that's old, yeah, it's because we didn't have a show last week, get over it. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into just some really quick hitters. That's how I like to start it. Keep it light, keep it simple. Um, Quick hitters. I saw that. Damn, mine just went blank. Oh, okay. Quick hitters. Saw that Joel Santana is home. As you know, he was serving a sentence. Wasn't it for like tax evasion or a gun? Was it a gun charge? Maybe it was a gun charge. No,
I
it
think it
was.
was
It was that gun charge from the airport
the
thing,
airport.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So, needless to say, they let him go a little early, which is obviously good news because there's been reports again about him and Kimbella's house, them possibly losing their house. But I mean, it's in the middle of pandemic. She can't go out really to make any money because we know her money making is Instagram. So he's kind of the breadwinner and all of that situation. Like, so they don't have no real money coming in other than whatever she gets from Instagram, then yeah, that's tough. So it's good that he's home and he can get back to helping to provide for his family. Um Also something that I thought was interesting, because I do enjoy, you know, different things out here in the arena. The Bella twins, if you guys are familiar with the WWE, they were pro wrestlers in the WWE. They're actual identical twins. They were pregnant around the same time, so they were only like 2 or 3 weeks difference apart. And they literally, I think, in my opinion, I think what happened is they probably triggered each other's labor because they literally had their babies like within hours of each other. So, like, one of them had a baby on July 31st and the other had their baby on August 1st. So, it was like within a couple hours of each other. And what's really cool or interesting about that, right, is so they took if you guys remember, like back on the T when T and Tamara had a show, and they talked about how twins have like a test they can take to find out if they're paternal or identical. So the Bella twins took the test and they found out that they're identical. So if you're identical twins, that means that your kids share a strand of DNA just because like y'all are essentially have the same DNA. So what's cool about that, I guess, is that they both had boys and they're twins. And since they're identical twins, it's like their kids are almost like half sibling twins. It's super creepy and kind of weird, but cool at the same Needless to say, that's why I wanted to bring it up because I was like, that's super interesting. Like, what are the odds of that? You know what I mean?
That's yeah.
Right? Come on. But anywho, so like I said, I feel like we can use a couple of laughs or a couple of just entertainment type
Yeah.
things. Um, anything else? Oh, and we don't really care about this, but the internet. um, it's reported that Tristan and Chloe are back together.
And the crazy thing is, like, did they ever really separate though? I
Big
don't think they
facts.
ever did. I just think it was like, I'm mad at you. I don't want to talk to you, so leave me alone for this time being.
I will
But
say, I will say, I don't give a damn what nobody says. People can say, why y'all always defending Jordan? She was wrong, woo woo. At the end of the day, whether you agree that Jordan was wrong or right, we can all agree that they dragged that girl for filth on their TV show over a kiss, only for you to run back to that man. You didn't even drag the women that he cheated on you with while you was what 3 months? Not 3 months. Damn near
no, she
nine
was
months
like,
pregnant,
yeah.
about to have
But
the baby.
and I don't. It's not taken up because I'm like, I still miss the point to this day. I'm like, how is she exactly wrong because she didn't come back and say something right away? It's like I don't get it because I'm like, she didn't kiss him, he kissed her. And from all accounts, they weren't really together then. So I'm like, knowing y'all personalities and your characteristics, because she's been around y'all for a long time, and I think people forget that. It's like I can kind of, I don't know, I kind of see like, you know what? I ain't even gonna say nothing about this. Just, hey, bro, stay away from me, and I'll stay away from you.
Basically.
So I'm like, I didn't get why she was like super duper dragging people like she was wrong, and I'm like, but that wasn't even her friend though. I don't know. It
And
was weird,
and to
but
be completely honest with you, from all accounts, like you said, they were not together. So how am I gonna be upset at you for kissing my baby daddy that I'm not even with at the time? I don't care if he my baby daddy. I'm not even with the man at the time. I'm supposed to be moving on, not worried about him, not giving a damn. Who cares if y'all was drunk and he kissed you? Like whatever. Maybe I don't want to talk to you for like a couple of days, but I'm gonna get like it's not that serious
right.
for y'all to have little. They spent a whole. That's what people don't understand. They spent a whole season of keeping up with the Kardashians, dragging that girl, only for her to run back to that man. Stop playing with me.
Girl, please. And then I saw like reports where they were saying like Corey was saying quarantine made them closer, and because he doesn't have the influences around him that he once had, that the cheating is not an issue. I'm like, so it takes the world shutting down for him not to go search for other people. Like I don't understand. Like
And then what's
what
gonna happen when
happened?
shit open back up?
Right. I was like, he's gonna be back to his old ways. It's just weird. And I'm like, and then this whole baby scandal that he has, and I'm like, child, Jordan was the least of your worries.
Honestly, I really think that the only reason she trying to do it, the only reason that if they like you said, I don't even think they were ever really not together. I think they just stopped, like you said, stopped speaking for a little bit. Now they back to fooling around. I honestly think that the reason the reports are coming out that they're back together is I bet you she pregnant again. I
I
put
wouldn't
money on it. She gonna come out of quarantine pregnant again. And
know.
that's really the only reason that they told us that they was quote unquote back together. Like on the next season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, we gonna see Chloe's pregnant, blah blah blah. And the only reason, and I really think the only reason that she accepts the bullshit is because she had a baby by him, and she wants to not have multiple baby daddies. I think really, in all honesty, that's all it is. She see the rest of her sisters ain't got multiple baby daddies, and she want to follow suit.
Be like, just say that and let it ride.
basically. Um, let me see what else we got. We can hit real quick on because this is a quick conversation. The Rick Ross 2 Chainz versus battle.
Oh,
Um,
yeah,
so big facts. I missed it.
I did too.
Because I was asleep. I ain't gonna lie. I've been real lazy in this quarantine. Yeah, I'm asleep. But anyway, I was asleep during the Rick Ross 2 Chainz versus battle. But I did see the clips afterwards, and apparently 2 Chainz brought out some strippers. At least they was masked up. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I saw that they had their mask on, so I appreciated it. I will say they did look a little. I'm not judging, but they did look a little lazy. Like one girl was kind of struggle twerking. And I was like, sis, this is your moment. Like this is your moment. Why put your best foot forward? But hey. And then Rick Ross brought out the masseuse. So, I guess he was getting a little massage while he was doing one of his records. And again, she had on her mask, so I appreciate that. That's really all I had from the battle. In all honesty, from what everybody said, Lil Wayne and Drake won the battle because they pretty much played a bunch of Lil Wayne and Drake features. So whatever.
Oh, jeez. I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't even go back to watch it. Yeah, that's just one I missed.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't one that I was like super excited for, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Mm, it is what it is. Um, so I guess we can. Oh, last quick hitter. There was an explosion in Beirut, correct?
Yep. That was shit, was it Tuesday? And I think now they're up to like 150 casualties. Um, like several thousand people that were hurt. Um, so yeah, it was August 4th. One of those things that were really hard to watch, but it was captured in so many places. Um, like I guess you have people like in their homes. The range was very high. I think they were saying like people felt it in Cyprus, which is like 150 miles away.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did they ever? Because I know when I saw it pop up, they said that it was unknown what was the cause at the time. Did they ever announce what the cause of it was?
So the government is saying that it was fireworks or like the plant made fireworks, which is like, yeah, no, but okay.
Okay. That's different. Mm.
I was like, yeah. And I follow a couple like Lebanese people, and they're like, yeah, that wasn't from a fireworks plant or having too much aluminum, is it nitrate?
Right.
Um, it's made with C4 or C4 is made out of that as well. And it was like, no, that wasn't it. And I was like, but why would you store all of that in like one place to cause that much? It was just really weird. And just to see how it started, it was like this fire, and then you just see a big explosion, and yeah. And it was like it had like a 3.3 like earthquake wave as well. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Um. Prayers to all those folks who are dealing with that situation, and hopefully, um, I doubt we'll get a better explanation. Honestly.
Definitely, I was like, yeah, this probably it. Because I'm like, just sitting here reading about it, even in America, you're like, yeah, that don't sound right. And then you see like other people that were actually there, or you see people from Lebanon, and they like, nah, that's definitely like bullshit. Um, yes, I'm like, definitely press them. It's going to be a long road because their economy is also like in ruins. Well, And I would say for any of us that, are going to give, just make sure that you're giving to organizations that are on the ground and it's going directly to the people. Of course, Red Cross always step in. I'm not a fan of Red Cross, but there are a lot of pages on Instagram that can give you resources where you're actually giving to the people, and they're getting the aid, and it's not going like, how Susan D. Coleman and a lot of them is like, oh, we take 70% and here's 30% for, actual community work. So, yeah.
Correct. Um, so let's go ahead and jump into some of these foolishness, some of the foolishness that's been going on. Really quickly, because we definitely don't. I don't want to spend more time than we have to on this man yet again for third week in a row. But Kanye West, um, apparently the Republicans that are helping him get on the ballot or that were getting on the ballot, there's something going on with the signatures, and that now they're saying that it's possible that at least in 2 states he's going to be
Yeah.
investigated for election fraud.
Yep. Um, he's ineligible in 2 states and they're investigating him. I guess because of invalid signatures or how he got it, which is like, I mean, duh. So I just wish he'll go away and just get the help that he needs. And yeah.
Unfortunately, I really don't think that he is going to go away. I think that until the election occurs, we're unfortunately going to have to deal with the mess that is Kanye. And as long as you have people out there who literally are, jumping out their face to support him. And I mean, literally, I just saw a thing pop up, a day yesterday, I think, where they said Nick Cannon said, I'm with
Yeah.
Kanye. And I'm just like, so as long as you have those folks, unfortunately, I think that this is something that until November and the election happened, that's where we're stuck.
And
So
I'm like, it's not really pulling, people like, well, he's trying to pull the black vote. I'm like, who's all these black people that's gonna fucking vote for Kanye? Like,
mhm. Honestly, I hate to say it, there's some. There's some.
I know it's, but I'm like,
There's some.
man, I hope it's not enough to sway an election. Like y'all realize going in there and being idiots, like in the hundred, it shouldn't even be 100,000 votes for Kanye. Like, and the fact
Child.
that he doesn't even take the presidential run serious enough to even do what needs to be done, it's like, bro, y'all gotta just just let it go. Just let him be a coon on his own. Now I will say, I don't know if you saw like Rick Ross' response. He was on Ebro's show, and they were talking about Terry Crews, and Ebro brought up like, he wasn't giving Kanye West a pass either, basically in so many words. And Rick Ross was like, well, I gotta talk to Kanye because a lot of times with the headlines, I'm like, what? I'm like, see, y'all be real live crater the hell out of this grown ass man.
I agree, actually. I'm glad you brought that up because I saw that and I just was like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, and I think Ebro was kind of sitting there looking like, so we just gonna contradict the hell out of ourselves, right? Because you literally, in one sentence, said, you ain't giving Terry Crews no pass. Fuck him. He a coon. Boo, boo, boo. And then in the same breath, well, I got to see what Kanye got to say about it first. Huh?
And be like, Kanye said what Kanye said. Like, what? I don't know. I just didn't think. I'm like, what further explanation do you need? I'm like, you actually saw him on stage. Like, it should have been enough where when you saw him at that rally, just like, yeah, this is enough for me.
Yeah. Agreed.
But what else?
Folks. That's all I'm gonna say. Folks. Like they give him a pass for anything. At this point, I'm not surprised. Like I literally saw people, because Azalea Banks yesterday and even today got on the internet and talking about she was suicide. Basically throwing suicidal messages, and people was like, well, that's her karma. That's what she get for being anti-black, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, y'all literally, y'all the same people who, when we literally said, what, last week and the week before that, oh, y'all wrong for going at Kanye. He got mental health issues and blah, blah, blah. You can't hold. But Azealia Banks can be held accountable for, and I'll admit, she done said some serious anti-black shit, some problematic shit. Woo, 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 woo. But sis literally talking about killing herself. Now, if Kanye was out here talking about killing himself, I sure would be right there with y'all. Pray for that man, get him some help. This girl is literally on here talking about kill herself, and y'all talking about this her karma. The fuck?
Listen, when I say the amount of space that they have made for Kanye to just be anti-black and foolish, and that's why I was like, I just want to read the responses to, what Azalea tweeted or whatever. And of course, they were expected that, oh, she doesn't get that protection. She doesn't get that benefit of the doubt. I'm like, listen, that's why I'm like, y'all hypocrite as fuck. I'm like, it's just that you want Kanye to be your favorite. He's your favorite, and you want him to. I think it also goes with Kanye is that a lot of people think like him when it comes to anti-blackness, and it's fine for black men to be anti-black.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's somebody else, Azalea could get on here and say the same thing, Kanye, because basically they say the same thing. Like, just being honest, it's just different words, but it's the same thing. Except she said right, and y'all run her through the mud. You can recognize that it's anti-blackness, but with Kanye saying, well, he is telling the truth. Hell's way.
Right. And with Kanye, it always goes back to, well, he's bipolar and he's suffering.
And his mama passed away, and that's the reason why he should have married a black woman. No, that's not the reason why he should have married a black woman. No woman needs to have that type of work on her like it. Like Kim shouldn't even have to deal with it.
Facts. It's not a woman's job to save somebody. It's not in the job description.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Other foolishness, and again, this has been plaguing for a couple weeks now. The allegations with the Ellen show and kind of it being basically a terrible place to work. That's been kind of the sentiment, and you have more and more people coming out, I guess, saying that there was discrimination, some people saying there was sexual harassment, just saying that all in all it was just a toxic work environment. It took a little bit for Ellen to respond to the allegations. She basically initially came out and said, when she started the show from the beginning, she said that she wanted it to be a good space, and she wanted to be family oriented and fun, friendly. She said at some point, I guess, it changed and turned, and now she's saying she no longer wants to do the show, or that they're going to cancel the show. I don't know. All the reports are kind of sketchy and all over the place, but it does seem to be leaning towards the show's going to be ending pretty much.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about it is, this is not I know a lot of people like Ellen and blah blah, but I don't know if there was like a Twitter thread probably like a couple years ago, and it resurfaced every so often about her practices and things like that, and being one of the worst people to work for. And I know people like, well, women are always hard to work for. I'm like, no, not from the stories I've heard, like, or the stories that were on Twitter. It's like, nah, bro, she was hard to work with. Like, food had to be a certain way. If you didn't bring it to her the right way, it was this repercussions and all of this stuff. So I'm like, it's been rumored for like several years. But I wonder what's kind of like different now that now she's like, oh, we should end the show. So I don't know.
I mean, it's been they have said that she is not the nicest person in real life. And in some regards, it's like um they say that oftentimes with people who are quote unquote common comedians and things of that nature, that because they have to be on all the time and people expect them to be funny all the time, that it does take a toll on them. So I wonder if some of that plays a part in it, in that she just people will probably just expect, because she is Ellen, and you know what I mean? Like, she dances and she's happy, so people expect her to be that. And then also, in all honesty, she could just be a bitch in real life. Like, I mean, that's you know what I mean? Like, people act like that's not in real life. Like, some people just aren't nice people. I hate to say it like that, but
And that's what I kind of like took from it. I'm like, I mean, she could very well not be a nice person to work with. And people, like, well, this is, it's they're not saying that it's always her, but it's people. I'm like, but it's your name and your brand, you're responsible for the people that you hire. Or I was like, so you have to make sure that, okay, my show, my name is on the show. I was like, you can go to other talk shows and you don't hear that about the host, or like. So I was like,
yeah.
I don't know. I was like,
And by all
whatever.
means, she could have definitely dropped the ball in that department as well. A lot of people, when they have a brand that big and they allow other people to kind of step in into roles and things like that, and handle business for them, you're absolutely correct. They can get away from you know the every day-to-day stuff. Like, if you're not super hands-on in things all the time and you get away from the day-to-day stuff, things can fall through the cracks. So she could very well not have known of all of the things that were going on behind the scenes at the show as well. So, I mean, all in all, but like you said, at the end of the day, her name is one. It's called The Ellen Show. So, good or bad, it's going to all fall on her shoulders.
Yeah. But I ain't crying about it because it's like, she'd have made boo-foos and boo-foos of money. She will be fine.
Yeah. And FYI, just to kind of piggyback off that, I don't understand the people who are going at folks for defending her or whatever like that. I'm just like, well, if they know her in real life and they're friends, they're allowed to do that. I mean, you don't have to agree with it, but they're allowed to do. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody is my friend and I see them going through something, or I see that they're you know what I'm saying, receiving scrutiny or whatever like that, naturally I'm gonna be defensive of my friend. They allow, like, I'm allowed to do that. You may not agree with it. You may have a different story to tell, but I also have a right to tell the story about what my friend has been. Da, 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 you know what I mean? Like, that we have to give people that space to do that.
Yeah, I think of it both. Like, you brought out a good, like, reason for that. Like, these are her friends, and of course they're gonna, because I feel the same way. If it's my friend, be like, no, I know she's not that type of person, and she's this and she's this to me. I guess my point was like, so do you deal with her in the capacity of her being your boss?
Yeah,
So
and
I
I mean,
think that's what, like,
that's valid. You know what I mean? That's why I think that both sides are valid in that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what people have to understand. Like, you can't get upset at her friends for defending her because they know her on a different level, but you also can't be mad at people who work for her for saying another way because they know her in a different capacity than that. You know what I mean? So at
yeah,
the same time, we got to give everybody the space to feel or to say what they want in that regards, because they know her in different levels or in different capacities. You know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, Ellen isn't only just being dragged about her show. They actually are, in some regards, I've seen where they're dragging her as a person. You know what I'm saying that she's a shitty person. And like, you saw that one producer who like went on that rant, like, she horrible and she sucked. I mean, like, she was throwing all kind of insults. So, uh, that those are personal beyond business. So of course, if people know her personally beyond business, then they gonna come out and defend her as their friend.
Mm. I don't know. I was like, I guess I I don't know. I guess I don't feel any certain way about her show being canceled because I didn't watch it, and I mean she's not a favorite of mine either. So
Yeah,
I,
like I said, I don't feel away
yeah,
either, but I get it. You know,
yeah,
I get it on either side. I get it.
yeah.
Um, moving on from that, let's touch on really quickly because I really don't want to spend no time on him either. Bootsy, ugh,
Listen,
ugh, out here in these streets yelling at people for shopping at Gucci. I just,
I for the life of me, when I started, I was like, so out of all the bullshit that you've been in 2020 and before then, you realize you chastise black people for being in a line at Gucci. You didn't see them with a bag, a receipt, nothing. They didn't even have on Gucci clothes, which I'm pretty sure you still got a whole closet full of them. Why are you doing this? I
I
didn't
agree
get it.
with you. I agree with you. Like, it's that is the one thing that I will say that aggravates me in terms of celebrity, the hypocrisy that a lot of them live in. Like, y'all be having whole closet full of these designer stuff that half of y'all, by the way, don't pay for, that y'all get for free, and y'all in every song dropping this brand. Oh, I got this new AP watch, or I got the new. I brought my girl. What's the latest handbag that they all getting?
That Birkin bag.
Yeah, I got my girl the new Birkin. About all of this stuff, and then in the same breath, y'all want to get hypercritical and chastise black people for patronizing these high-end designers that y'all tote around as so special. Oh, y'all should be supporting black business. I, does AP contribute anything to the black community?
Nothing.
I don't. You know what I mean? Like, did I miss? Does the people who make Birkin bags, is they out in these streets for black folks? I I,
Listen,
I can't with y'all.
cannot. And I'm like, even much more, I'm like, you got on a Ferragamo belt, probably got on brand names. Be like, so I for the life of me, I don't understand. Like I said, and then you just like, just look at them, blah, 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 and y'all doing this. Be like, first of all, when y'all even advertised this whole Gucci boycott, it was only for a year anyway. We passed it. Take your ass on.
But not only that, they didn't even boycott Gucci themselves. So that's why
Right?
I can't
Again,
understand it.
pretty sure it'd be like, what about your jeweler? How do they feel about Black Lives Matter and what race? Like, Chad Boosie, find something to do.
Basically, like, I can't. That's the one thing I can't stand. I don't like when celebrities get hypercritical and jump and have the audacity to speak down on black folks, regular black folks, for doing whatever the fuck they doing, when in actuality, how many of y'all, the majority of the things that y'all got came from somebody who looked like you? Did you buy your house from somebody who looked like you? You know what I
The
mean? Like,
broker didn't look like them.
I'm just trying to understand. Y'all gotta
Whole
cut it
real
out.
estate agency team was white. So,
Big facts. So stop it.
boo boo. Be like, the only thing that I've seen that y'all have black boots is the people that stay there. Be like, y'all, listen, like you said, you didn't even buy your house from a black person. Your whole real estate team, your renovation team was white. The people that sold you the refrigerators to get in there, white. Bye. And be
Thank
like, just
you.
be honest from what them people had on look like. and this is not a knock for what they had on. I don't want people to take it like that. But what they had on was regular, boutique stores that Black people own that do take part in it. So more than likely, they patronize with Black businesses more than you do.
Facts.
They actually probably stay in the hood, and I'm not even gonna say stay in the hood. They probably drive out their way to go to a Black business, like, let me go eat some food from here.
Yep.
Child, find something to do.
Exactly. So, anywho, moving on from the foolishness that is Boosie. More foolishness. So the woman, Amber Geiger, we all remember the story of Botham Jean. She broke into his house and shot and killed him. Had her trial, cried in her Becky tears, and basically finessed her way into only getting a 10-year sentence. Well, now she, of course, is appealing the charge, appealing the sentence, saying that she should not have been convicted, even though she admitted in court of committing the crime. Her lawyers are saying that she should not have been convicted because, well, even though she did shoot him. They saying that she had a right to do it in self-defense because she thought that she was in danger and that was her place. I'll be honest with you. I can't really go up for this one. Reason being is because we literally sat and saw when she was facing sentencing, we saw his family get up there. I just want to give her a hug. And it was a whole little viral moment of when everybody was scratching their heads like, wait, what? You want to hug the person who killed your brother? Everybody was, you know what I'm saying? And people was like, oh,
the
no,
daddy
don't
wanted to
judge
be
him.
the friend.
Exactly. People was like, oh, don't judge them. They good Christians, blah, blah, blah. Well, now you see where that done got you. Because now she got an appeal, and you know damn well she going to use all of that for her appeal. And when she get out, I don't want to hear nothing. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear nothing from y'all. I don't want to hear nothing.
Listen, the whole, and that was one of my things. I was like, it like, that shit pissed me off so bad when they was like, oh, the brother was like, I forgive. But listen, I don't care if you take my brother from me. I want you to die knowing that I hate you. I don't care, like, all that shit. Oh God, blah blah blah. Nah, I want you to die knowing that. Like, I don't. That whole thing. And I'm like, that doesn't make you. First of all, when people are like, well, that's what Christians, blah blah. I say that's a whole nother different. But God allows for your feelings. He understands that. If that's your thing. But anywho, I'm with you on it. It's like, so y'all gonna realize, get in here, hug this woman, and be like, "Oh, we forgive you. We want to be your friend," and blah blah. And I'm like, if it was vice versa, you automatically know her family will be like, "I want him to receive the maximum sentence. Hope he never sees the light of day again. He should die in prison." 10 years is a slap on the wrist for you flat out killing somebody. Fact. And I'm like, if this would have been a regular and at that point she was off duty. So it's like, you're a citizen. She didn't walk into his house as a police. It still would have been wrong and it still would have been murder. But you're a citizen. You walked into somebody else's home. And what if he would have killed her? Because he had more right for self-defense than anything. I'm like, for the life of me, and for you to call and be like, oh, she's a good person. There's no way that you can be a good person and I'm going to give her a Bible and she's doing all this crying. If you're going to be saying, or you're going to say I was wrong, you also have to accept the consequences that come with being wrong. And that's the consequences that you have to go to jail for this.
Yeah.
So she could not honestly say to me, be like, oh yeah, I killed your brother. I know I was wrong, but I don't want to do jail time for this.
Yeah.
What?
She clearly feels no remorse.
Right. There's no remorse because it's like, okay, listen, I know I fucked up. And then it wasn't even so much to make it matters worse is this bitch went to trial. She didn't even try to be like, you know what can I make a deal with so I don't have to put his family through this. I know I was wrong. And then you're gonna go and say fucking self-defense. That's what the child listen.
Basically. I mean, listen, in all honesty, I hope that people, if it comes out and she wins her appeal and she gets out, I hope that people don't get angry about it or anything like that, because in all honesty, she set it up to win that appeal. Y'all giving her all them hugs and all the I forgive yous, and you know what I mean, and I want to be your friend, I want to come visit you, blah 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 blah. All of that, I promise you, that is all stuff she will use in court.
Yep. And then y'all the ass gonna be sitting there like, well, we didn't mean it like that. Well, I would have kept my damn mouth shut. If anything, I would have been like you, a Samuel L. Jackson moment. I hope you die. I hope you burn in hell.
Yeah,
I'm like, there's no reward on heaven or earth. There was no reward for them doing it to be like, oh yeah, I forgive you, blah blah. Blah. Girl, fuck you.
basically. And now she
None.
gonna run around scot free out here in these streets after she murdered your whole fam. Listen, I can't. Mm. I
Come
can't
back.
even imagine. I can't even imagine. I personally, I don't know how they could. That wouldn't even sit right with me. And you see the statement that came from the family's attorney saying that they are deeply bothered and hurt by the fact that she would turn around and do the appeal. In their opinion, that shows that she has no remorse. And I'm just
Uh,
like, oh,
duh.
what did y'all expect? Because she got on that stand and cried Becky tears. That meant she was remorseful. No, that was an
Like the
act.
fact that there was even a trial should show you that there is no remorse. Like she didn't even say like, let me see if I can make a deal for my wrongdoing so I don't have to take his family through coming to court every day. And we had already knew that. We was like, this is gonna be some bullshit. And it was definitely some bullshit.
That it was. Um, some more craziness that came out. Singer Jaguar Wright. She came out and basically did an interview, or I don't know if it was like with a magazine or if it was like a video or whatever. But essentially, she said that she is accusing Common of sexual misconduct or sexual assault. I can't remember if it's both or one or the other. It may be sexual assault.
I saw sexual assault, so I'm not, but I know it's like multiple videos from what I gathered, but I did see
Yeah,
assault.
it was a little confusing because I know she was talking about a lot of different things also
Mm.
during the whole thing. So I know it's basically it's sexual something in nature. I did see bits and pieces of the story where she was talking about either him inappropriately forcing touch on her, something like that. So either way it goes, we know it's sexual in nature. It's a very strong allegation or accusation that she's throwing his way. Um, I I don't know. I mean, and the crazy thing is that it's really been downplayed. Like I haven't really seen a lot about it. It's almost like when she came out with the allegation. I hate to say it like this, but it's like when that allegation kind of surfaced. It's like at the same time we saw Tiffany Haddish and him confirm that they were a couple, and that's kind of been you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's kind of been the common headline as opposed to the allegations. Almost like I hate to say that they did it to kind of dead it so that it will kind of be swept under the rug, but I'm just saying the
And
timing is interesting.
Yeah. And this is another situation I think that we see where people put their fave on like a pedestal of like, oh, this is something that he couldn't do. And it that really still irks me to this day when it comes down like, well, why would he want to do that to her? What the fuck do you mean? Like the reason why a lot of men sexual assault a lot of women because the fuck they want to do, and it's about power and control. And from her story, it's like, I mean, he ain't say he didn't do it.
That's what I'm
I'm like,
saying.
at this point, I feel like this. If you're accused of sexual assault, if you ain't giving Justin Bieber energy out here, listen.
That's what I listen. We saw what Justin came with it. He brought the
Right.
receipts. He said, "Y'all not finna put this on my name."
So
So that's
you
all.
ain't giving Justin Bieber energy. I can't do it.
Yeah, like I said, it seems really strange to me, like the way the story kind of got buried. Like I saw the headline like super quick, and like literally a couple hours later, it was instead of that, it was, oh, Tiffany Haddish confirms her relationship with Common, and that's all I saw about Common for the last couple days is him and Tiffany Haddish. When big facts we've all known they've been a couple.
Yeah.
So I don't. Timing is interesting. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. And I definitely think that, yeah, that's probably PR doing their PR work. It's like, oh, well, just so we can get it, off the headline, and Tiffany Haddish is hot right now, and blah. So we're just gonna go ahead and come out with the story. And I don't know. I guess as a woman, I would hate to be involved in something like that, like to hush somebody up from telling their truth.
Facts. Facts. I would rather have my partner come out and face it head on and say, "Hey, nah,
Right.
it's not true. It's not. I didn't do this, and here's my side, or here's the facts." Like you said, if you're not on that Justin Bieber, I don't
Can't.
know. You know what I mean? That's
Because
all.
Bieber came as much as I'm not like a fan, but Bieber came. This why I was. This what happened right here. Want her. I don't know who this is. Matter of fact, Twitter, go ahead, show their identity so I can face it. I can't. And if you don't get that energy, I can't even now. And I know like a lot of people in the comments was like, how's that sexual assault? And I'm like, that a lot of these sexual assault cases, that's what a lot of it bothers me is that people don't know, like, bro, that's sexual assault.
Yeah.
Like you cannot force somebody to give you fellatio, or you can't do that.
Right. If at any point any part of the sexual partners no longer consents and you continue to go beyond that point, it's assault. Period.
Right. They can't be
It's that
sleep. Like
simple.
she said she woke up and he was trying to force fellatio. So it's like you can't do that. That's sexual assault. That's very clear. And like I said, for him just to not to be like, hey, allegations are not true, but here, he got my girlfriend be like, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I
Mm.
said, very interesting. We shall see if anything comes of it. I hate to say it like that because unfortunately, like you said, we tend to oftentimes see stories like this get buried. And then 30, 40 years down the road, we have Bill Cosby situations or
Right.
R. Kelly situations or even the whole Russell Simmons situation. So unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know. We shall see. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Um. So let's talk really quickly. Donald Trump and TikTok.
I listen. That's one of the things I don't use TikTok, so I know my niece will probably be heartbroken to log in one day, and that's the only person I really think about. Like if my niece logged in and TikTok was gone, she would probably unravel. I don't know. I just necessarily like, people like, well, TikTok together our data. I'm like, what? Have y'all ever not thought about some shit and logged in on Facebook and be like, bitch, that was a thought. I didn't even think that out. I didn't even say the word. And it just be so fucking random. Be like, I was talking about donuts. How did a donut
Exactly.
like that's just random as fuck. But then you like, okay, that's random. But when you actually realize, think about like, bro, I am sitting here talking to my friend. We're talking like one instance for me was we were just talking about purchasing a home. I get on like Instagram and I see all these ads for like Shea Homes and all of this stuff. So I'm like, I mean, American companies spy on you all the time. I'm like, that's how they gather data to give you ads and shit. So I'm like, I mean, I
Basically, if you have a phone, a tablet, a computer, anything, then they gathering data on you. That's just unfortunately that's the world that we live in. And if you are naive enough to believe that you can do anything on this earth for them not to gather data on you, well, I guess I could sell you some property, somewhere. Like, stop playing with me, y'all are strange. That's all I'm gonna say. We know that like I said, everything that you do is being watched or gathered or whatever. That's just the times. I hate to say it like
that's
that. It's the times.
that's all fuck. I mean,
Yeah.
I ain't feel any certain type of way about it.
Honestly, I think the more interesting story is the fact that um what is his name? Mark Zuckerberg is really out here basically trying to be like a conglomerate because he really out here stealing everybody ideas and just putting them on his shit. Like,
Listen, I was like, reels, really, bro? Okay, okay, I see you.
he really, like, you saw when Snapchat had everybody was only fucking with Snapchat because they had the little filter. Oh, okay, I got y'all. Boop boop. Filters.
Put that dog filter on Instagram. There you go. And put that other nice little filter. They give them the nice eyelashes and the blush. Put that on there too. Be like, I still don't use them, but be like, I see you though, bro. And I'm pretty sure like his whole thing of, oh, I'm still gonna run, but to let Donald Trump run his false ads and all this bullshit. Yeah. What else?
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the name of the game.
Mhm.
So we shall see. The only company they haven't been able to run off is Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Cause I mean, Snapchat isn't what it once was.
Yeah,
So
Snapchat, I don't, yeah. It's like certain stuff, it's like, don't mess with it. Like, I'm over Facebook new update. I'm like, I don't like this. So I don't even be on there. I just be like, I'm just going to put a status on there and log off. I don't like this at all. Like, my comments don't look right.
child, everything's a mess. But anywho, let's move on from that one. And I guess we can move to the last two topics we got are music related. So let's go ahead and move to those two. We can start really quickly because I didn't watch it on Disney Plus yet. I've only saw clips of it, but I know there was a lot of talk about it. So let's start there first. Beyonce's Black is King dropped on Disney Plus. From like all the visuals and things that I saw, um, in all honesty, I probably don't even have to watch on Disney Plus at this point because y'all done really gave everything on the internet. Um, it looked the cinematography. I mean, listen, Beyonce. Let's be honest. When it comes to like putting these little projects together, we saw at Homecoming that Beyonce does not play on everything down to the from the clothing to the makeup to the hair cinematography, like everything is just
Mhm.
amazing.
Mm.
So it looked good. Obviously there's with anything that's tied to Beyonce, there's always controversy. There's always going to be the the people who are negative about it. You have all the people saying, that she's exploiting Africa for capitalist reasons, blah, 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 whatever. But anywho, what are your thoughts?
I haven't watched it yet. I am going to watch it. I'm really excited about watching it. Like just looking at, I didn't like try to like watch people because I do have a couple of people that was on my timeline, which is so fucking annoying that they put like on their stories the whole fucking like. I'm like, how the fuck would you do that? But and who sits with their phone while they're watching something to record? It's crazy to me. But anywho, so I do have plans on watching it. Um, I mean, personally, I'm excited for her. I'm always excited for Beyonce, my fellow Virgo. Um, I personally love her. I don't really ever understand all the backlash that she gets from any project that she does because I like even from Homecoming, it was, oh, she didn't even go to HBC. I'm like, shit, she didn't go to no college. I'm like, yeah, like she went to a predominantly white institution or something. But even if she did, I'm like, a lot of those colleges need funding and the spotlight. So whatever. Um, so and I see the same thing with Black is King. It was interesting and nice to see. I think when No Name, um, which we talked about her a couple of weeks ago in her defense, she came with this whole little Twitter thread and like the people of Africa kind of when I say dragged her through the desert, baby, they dragged her.
Dragged
Um,
her.
saying that they were, excuse me, they were happy to see the project. They were happy that and she highlighted several different parts of Africa. It wasn't just like this one place. And I do think I don't know for No Name, I guess she figured like, oh, she thought of Africa as just, oh, she just highlighted this one big place. It's like, no, she did her research. And that's one thing that I do love about Beyonce. I think when she does work, she does the research also to be like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is how I want it to look. This is who I want to highlight. So I'm like, you do see all these different, African culture and people. And I know it's like, I don't know if you ever saw the video from the white woman that was crying and the women of the village was like mocking her, was like, woo. And I saw like some of those people, and I forgot what tribe it was from, so excuse me. But yes, I don't understand the criticism that she gets because I'm like, she does great work. Like, how can you take that away from her? People like, I don't understand why people love Beyonce. Be like, you don't have to love her, but god damn it, do you have to hate every time she come out with something?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like the biggest thing that I'm irritated with or that my pet peeve that I get sick of is whenever we have anyone who is black and successful, y'all always come with that same
Illuminati.
Illuminati, they Satanists, they blah 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 blah. And that shit irks every part of my soul because it really speaks to me in the sense that y'all really think that black people cannot be successful in this world without the help of the devil. Apparently, like that's the only way that we can have success on it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we don't work for it. We don't hit the ground running. We ain't out here losing sleep. We not out here, you know what I mean, blood sweat and tears for it. No, it's we worship the devil, so of course the devil is the reason that we have this. Like, the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like, y'all are so horrible and so bad that y'all even like in all of her little videos, oh, y'all see that satanic image that she did there? And I'm like, the one that got me was like the one where she's has like the little horns
Mm-hmm.
and like and people was like, oh y'all see it at the same time. And I was like, the sad part is that y'all know so little about just different history and images and things like that. That how did y'all attribute that? Because even as someone, and I'll admit, I haven't even done any like super duper research into African traditions, cultures, different things like that. Just knowing like bare minimum, my first thought when I saw it was, oh, isn't she supposed to be portraying Hathor, the Egyptian goddess? Because she's always portrayed as like with the little, is like a cow with the little horns and all that stuff like that. Like, I mean, that was my first thought. Like, y'all really jump out the gate on anything to just make anything. Oh, she's satanic and boo 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 boo. Like, that shit aggravates me. Like, we could talk about like if y'all understand how much it agitates me that y'all literally would rather see black people as poor, not doing nothing, unsuccessful, as opposed to giving us the credit for working our asses off. Like, that girl had no fucking childhood. None. You know what I'm saying? Like, she sacrificed all, like, we've all seen the story. She had no childhood. From the time that whatever you saw, all seen the Destiny Child video from back when they was like 7, 8, 9. They parents had them up in heels, dancing, preparing for this. So like, listen, it aggravates me.
And then I saw like people were like, well, it's Black is King, but she went and dedicated to her son. And I'm like, sweetheart, it was from the Lion King though, and Simba was a dude.
Factuals.
So
Factual.
what
Woo, girl, listen.
who was she supposed? You know what? I'm tired. And I was like, did y'all forget that, or was y'all just watching thinking, oh, this is just some documentary? No, sweetheart. Like,
It was supposed to be like her twist or a model retelling of the Lion King.
and y'all get y'all black ass on in there tomorrow. Was she dedicated to us? Yeah, because Simba was a dude.
Child, listen. They will find. They will find any way to hate and think peace something to death. I'm telling you.
When I say people like y'all be acting like Beyonce walk on water, I'm like, she went on a calorie diet that I couldn't do. So she pretty amazing to me because like you said, water and some vegetables. What about protein? Like I can't. I'm like, but just to show like her willpower, the sacrifices, and her being honest and even saying, "Shit, I was fucking hungry," but I can't do it. Be like, so you want me to dance 3-hour routine and I'm hungry, baby? Give me a snack. Can't do it. Like it's
Listen,
not.
that was honestly that was my favorite part because that she was irritated as fuck with Blue ass when Blue was sitting there eating them fruit snacks. Like, well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Right? Be like, I ain't signed up for this life. And Blue always gives me petty, so like I didn't sign up for this. This is your fault.
Facts.
But give me and pass me that cold Capri Sun out your bag too. Thank you.
And sidebar, can we just say in a couple years, Blue, Riley, Kurt, these girls finna be out here
On
killing
it.
killing it. They finna own everything. Cause listen, baby, I saw that video, right? I was like, okay, little sis, you better, child. She killed it.
I'm so happy. I was like, oh, and it's so. I guess it's great to see as well. It's like we now have not only a generation of children that are striving and like finding their, even if it's not something that they want to do forever. It's like, man, it's just great to see that. Like, man, it's these little kids out here that's creative, and they have parents that's just like, shit, if you want to get on here and make a music video and blah blah, guess what? You're gonna make a music video.
Yeah,
And they
support
have
it. Yeah.
those outlets and things like that. I'm like, even when you see about like children on TikTok, and I watch my niece, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like she is always like dancing. She know everything. She's like, TT, what is it? Tap, tap, tap in. I'm like, Lord Jesus, how do you get this? Like this TikTok just came out. What are you doing? But
Child.
just to see that like their creative juices are flowing and they're happy. And like I just feel like we should cultivate that. And a lot of times we're like, no, they don't need to do this, they don't need to do it. Listen, let these kids live.
Facts. Facts. Let them be happy and enjoy shit. Cause it's once we all know once adulthood hit, shit
She get
shit
real.
different. Shit different. So
She get real. You like,
so
I sign up for this.
oh facts. 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 But anywho. Alright, so moving from Black is King to this week's new music topic that everybody is talking about. So after I think it's been almost 2 years since she dropped Invasion of Privacy, Cardi B dropped her, I don't know if it's like her official single or her first single or whatnot, but it's the first song that she's had out in a very long time. It's called WAP featuring Meg Thee Stallion. It came out yesterday with video, and needless to say, it's been everywhere, and the think pieces is already flowing, of course, with that too. So here we are talking about it, of course, because everybody else is talking about it. So let me first, before we jump into like the think pieces and all of the controversy about it, whatever like that, let me first get your reaction to the song, to the video, that part first, and then we'll jump into the other aspect.
I ain't gonna lie, I think it's a bop. Um, I've played it a few times. It's on my labor and delivery playlist. Um, it's a good twerk song. So I wasn't mad about that. I'm still not a fan of Cardi. I don't like the way she slur her words. I could, whatever. I enjoyed the video until Kylie, and I'm like, why the fuck did you give her this big ring entrance? Her outfit was cute though, but like I enjoyed it. So, yeah.
Okay. So for me, thought the video was nice. I liked the video. It was creative. Definitely reminiscent of, and I think maybe that was the inspo. Um, 1 Minute Man from Missy Elliott. Um, but nonetheless, the outfits was on point. The hair was on point. Looked good. Meg looked good. Cardi looked good. Everybody in the video looked good. Let's be honest. It was a nice video, a good looking video. Normani out, she did her thing out here. I'm with you. I didn't understand the Kylie Jenner spot in that. I actually agree with a lot of people. I don't understand why she didn't use Swati. Is that how you say her? I think is it Swati?
White teeth,
Sweet,
slightly, yeah.
Swati, sweetie. I don't. It might be. Look, it might be Sweetie.
Hey,
I
it
don't.
could
I
be.
don't know. Listen, I'm sorry for butchering that girl name, but she's gorgeous, and I don't understand why they didn't use her for that walkthrough. Cause she would have killed that. But or she. I mean, hell, they could have even went for everybody's favorite girl right now, Lori Harvey.
True.
I don't, you know what I mean? Like they could have went. Why didn't they grab Regina Carter?
Listen,
I,
yeah.
you know what I mean? They could have went any space for that. I did, but we gonna talk about that in the next part. As for the song, I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I just don't like it.
Mm.
I ain't like it. To me, the saving grace of it is the beat. Um, but in fairness, y'all, I don't really care for the sample. I didn't really care for There's Some Hoes. Like I didn't never really like that song to begin with. The only thing that song reminds me of is like 2:30 at the club when the club finna close. And you hear that beat, everybody already drunk and y'all hear that beat, somebody bop their head and you start looking around. And everybody, y'all just like, so y'all ready? All right, you know what I'm saying? That's what that reminds me of. So it was already starting out on a bad note for me. But then you top that with the fact that, and shoot me, I know y'all gonna be mad at me for saying this, but the bars was horrible. Like, I feel like I don't know what team Cardi had with her for the first album, who like was helping her with as far as rapping and like her speech and all, you know what I mean? But she don't have that same team. You can tell.
I definitely.
She don't have that same team. Y'all can't tell me that y'all listened to that record and y'all said that this is on par with what she's done previously. Y'all can't tell me that. Y'all can't tell me that. Ain't no way. But you know, who am I? Meg killed it, but see, I think that's the difference. Is also that Meg knows how to ride a beat, and Cardi just reminded me of that Blueface dude who be off beat and shit. Like, I'm sorry, she did. But then again, a lot of people like that Blueface dude too. So a lot of people like that record. I didn't fuck with that either. So, but the bars was not up to par to me. I'm sorry, just wasn't what it was. But
it was because this I like Cardi. I was like, I mean, I could have deal without it, but
yeah, like I'm saying, like if it was just, I could honestly, if it was just a Meg song, I think she might have been able to save it. Maybe
I mean, she did
I don't
save.
know.
As far as like the song, I think she definitely saved it. I mean, even the video, because you got to be like Meg was like banging in that video. I'm like, why the fuck she just didn't walk down the fucking hallway? Like, I didn't get it. I was like,
yeah,
why you just didn't walk down the hallway your damn self? But I mean, yeah, and like I'm with you on it because I'm like her. It's not even like perfect English because I don't like that term like, oh, she has to speak or you speak perfect English. It's just the pronunciation and like now she like I said the slurring of the words. I'm like, what the fuck?
It feels like she's regressed backwards as far as rap is concerned. And I don't know if maybe it's just that rap is just her bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just getting a bag from this, as opposed to something that she actually really, really genuinely loves. Or like, I don't know what it is,
But
but
she said that before that it's money for her. So I think if it makes money and I'm famous and popular, then I'm fine with it. So I don't have to be the best at it or good at it, but I'm popular and I'm famous and I make money. So
yeah. I mean, like we're gonna see, it's gonna do numbers. We all know it's probably gonna go number one, but I'll be honest, I'll be surprised if it lasts more than maybe 1 or 2 weeks, because like I said, I guess it's not fair for me because, like I said, I don't like the sample record, so it's not, I'm not objective because like I said, I do not like There's Some Hoes in This House. I've never liked this song, never, ever. Like I said, it reminds me of the end of the club. Like, you ready to go home, bitch? All right, let's go. Come on there, y'all playing. Bring your ass.
House, so we can go to the house.
Thank you. Like, bitch, I'm hungry. Bring your ass. Let's go. So anyway, moving on from that aspect of it, let's jump into all the different controversies about it. First controversy is the Kylie Jenner aspect. There's obviously, as you can see, a lot of people did not get it, don't understand why she was in the video. There's a whole little petition because people really out here hot and got a lot of time on their hands to have her removed from the video. My only issue with Kylie Jenner in the video is I do not like when you allow, in my opinion, culture vultures into a space into our space and allow them to paint the narrative as being about them. Because if you look at all of like the white publications and things of that nature, their focus, as opposed to being on Cardi and Meg and the fashion and all of the important, you know what I'm saying? Their focus is, oh, Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner, she looks so good in that video. Kylie Jenner is the star of the Cardi B video. You know what I mean? Like that's their fault, and I don't like that. That's my issue. Your thoughts?
Like I said, when I saw the video, I was like, okay, cool. And then when it like slowed, I was like, fuck she doing in the video? And I agree. She was like, this person already rides the wave of imitating Black women until it's time to stand up for Black women. And yeah, I was baffled. I'm like, why was she even in the video? And then you went on to have other Black women. I don't know, but I was like, it was Cardi's, I guess, vote maybe. I don't know. Saying that it was her or her song, but I mean, I just didn't think that it was needed. Like that was unnecessary. It took away from some of the video. Like I said, other than her outfit being cute, but like she could have just stayed off of the video. I'm like, you literally have a person that emulates everything that a Black woman is until it's time to stand up for Black women. And that goes for her and her whole fucking family. So I'm like, just don't.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And I think, and then from what everybody was saying, they said that she had the longest cameo part. Like they said, like
She did.
It looked like the track stopped for her, something like that. And to me, that's odd too. Like,
yeah, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, y'all act like Beyonce walking down the aisle, Rihanna or somebody. I was like, it's just Cat. What the fuck did you stop this whole video for? And then she got to take a slow stroll, and then you get to like you go to the next scene or whatever. I'm like, I just didn't understand it, and like even what you were saying, tie back to like all these white publications is that it's Kylie. I'm like, but that's not right. It's not her video, not her song, not her project. She just probably showed up. And I don't know. I'm like, maybe from a marketing perspective, but I'm like, even still then, it's like, bro, you literally got the hottest female rapper out right now on a track. I'm not gonna say Cardi. For me, she has lost some momentum because she has been like quiet or whatever. She hasn't dropped any like recent music, but I'm like, I mean, you still have fans. I don't feel that it was needed.
Yeah, definitely not. We can definitely agree on that part. The Kylie Jenner spot wasn't needed, but like you said, from a marketing standpoint, I guess it makes sense because I guarantee her whole little fan base,
download that song or specific video,
watch the video a zillion times, reposting clips of the video. Essentially, it's the same thing. Remember that happened with Travis Scott. When they was together and Kylie was heavily promoting his album and all of that, all her little fans rushed to, buy copies of it because they got a picture of Kylie and baby Stormy and all that. So, I mean, it's essentially the same effect, I think. So, I guess I get it from that standpoint. But on the other end, it's just like, I'm with you. It wasn't needed. You could have replaced. There's so many other girls you could have went to. You could, like I said, you could have pulled Lori Harvey. You could have pulled Reginae Carter. You could have pulled how iconic would that have been to have Lil Wayne's daughter in there? Come on, man.
Yep.
I mean, and then SWAT is your label, man. You could have pulled her. Damn, I feel like I'm saying that girl name.
And I feel like it may be Sweetie, but I feel like there's a in between that and a W. I don't know.
Listen, I don't know, but she is gorgeous and she fit the aesthetic perfectly. So that's why I was confused. Like, why you just didn't use her? And that's your whole label mate. Not only that, like she damn near y'all family because you married to Offset and him and Quavo is cousins. So and she basically married the Quavo ass. So I mean, I don't understand. Listen, who am I? But that was not the only controversy with the record.
Oh, Jesus.
Obviously, the big controversy that everybody is talking about is the quote unquote lyrics and how vulgar it quote unquote is or whatever. I don't listen. All I know is we getting a shit ton of think pieces about this record, and you got Congress people tweeting about it. Everybody and their mama, oh my god, it's so nasty and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, Lord, here we go.
Can
But
you find Congressman first talking about he accidentally clicked? There, come on. Come on. Let's just be honest.
Oh man, absolute liar. But let me hear your thoughts first, because mine's is a simple take. So what are your thoughts?
It's bullshit. Basically, I hate this narrative, and I put it on my Facebook that we understand the concept, or we want to be like, oh, people like LeBron James is not a role model. This person is not, Bruce is not a role model. Uncle Luke, all these people not a role model. So why are we looking for Cardi and Meg and other women to be a role model? And I'm like, it's not a song for children. So with anything with entertainment, I'm like, you have to be there as that parent, because that's a lot of the complaints is, oh well, kids and blah blah. But everything is not made for children. Sometimes it's adult entertainment. This is one of those times. This is adult entertainment. And I'm like, it's nothing. And I'm like, even to me being when I was like a young adult or even a teenager, watching Lil' Kim crush on you, the only thing I want to be like, I want some color hair, and then I want to wear an outfit, not just like hers, but I want to wear a whole color outfit. Like, that was the biggest thing, but it wasn't anything that I wanted to do to be like her, because I had role models in my life to be like, okay, these are the women that I want to emulate. But when it comes down to all of these think pieces about, oh, it's raunchy and blah, lyrics have been raunchy. We have been listening to men talk about sex, drugs, shit, Rick Ross, rape, like cars, alcohol, hoes, whatever. I'm like, the whole fucking tip drill video was raunchy, but yet it was out there. And I'm like, I'm like, even there's some hoes in this house. That's from 1992. Mm-hmm. So what are you crying about? I'm like, that whole part of me about the role model. And then, you have the ashy ass men that are crying because I don't know if it's because they don't have a big Mack truck to fit in somebody's little garage. They don't touch the dangly thing in the back of a woman's throat. I don't know what it is. But why are y'all mad? Like, I'm like, watching the video, I'm like, as a male, why would you be mad about this? It is no way possible that I will be writing 5 paragraphs on Facebook, be like, did you see the video though? Like, as a woman, I'm like, listen, did you see Megan all black? What are you writing a think piece about? Child. I don't get it.
Listen,
I really don't.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm over it on both sides, on everybody's sides. Y'all all getting on my goddamn nerves about this damn song. So on the one side, you have the folks who are upset at the people who are who I call the clutch of pearls folks. Let's keep it 100 being. Let's keep it honest. There have always been those people. There are people in this world who are hardcore conservative, who are prudes. You know what I mean? Like, those people exist. And they've always been around. They always clutching their pearls. Like, oh my God, I can't believe he or she said that. I can't believe they do this and blah blah blah. They have always been around. They will always be around. So there's no need to get up in arms about them folks. But then you have on the other side, those, and I don't even think it's the clutch your pearls people as much. I think it's what I want to call the follower folks, right? They're the people who just are scared to either be like, I don't like the record or whatever, woo, woo, woo. But they see that, oh, if I say that this record's vulgar or this or that, people gonna actually be cool with it. So I could just, get off with all these little think pieces and retweets and likes and clout and whatever the hell the young people are saying. But nonetheless, everybody get on my goddamn nerves. It is not that serious, okay? Raunchy, whether you want to call it raunchy, hardcore, whatever, super sexually explicit rap has always been around. It's nothing new, whether it's from males or females. It has always been around, and it's not gonna go anywhere. Everybody knows in any part of entertainment, sex sells. Those are facts. So it ain't gonna go nowhere. It's gonna continue to be in your face. It's gonna continue to be there. So you can either like it or don't. But we don't need everybody think peace about it. We don't give a fuck. Okay. Just if Megan and Cardi want to be out here talking about letting the look, hitting the little thing in the back of that, let them do their thing. Okay, that's their business. Okay. They allowed to do that. I wasn't mad that Kim said that she could get a whole Sprite bottle in her. I was like, for real, bitch? Well, damn. Okay. Like, hey, teach me something because I can't. That's a talent. Okay, that's a talent. But nonetheless, like I said, there's always gonna be those people who clutch their pearls and everything, and there's always gonna be the other people. Like, can we just miss all the think pieces, please? Do we have to think piece everything to death? Okay, I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. I know y'all bored in quarantine, but we do not have to think piece everything to death. If you don't like the record, you don't like the record. Move on. If you like the record, bop to it. Have a good time. Plain and simple.
Yeah. People like, well, that's whole music. I'm like, how that's whole music? I'm like, they didn't say that it had to be multiple dudes or anything like that. They just said what they would do with a dude. And I'm like, Cardi is married. I do think a lot of people were told about her line when she was like, I don't cook, I don't clean, I still got a ring because, the pick-me's of the world. I did see a status on it. They was like, a pick-me died. And of course they come back and was like, well, she got cheated on. Be like, so women that cook every day and clean
get cheated on.
Still do it right.
I mean, like that is one thing that I will say that I found interesting about the whole thing. Like, I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to sexually explicit things, I think that maybe the reason it gets them in their feelings is just because either one, they've just never, I guess maybe they've never experienced that type of, you know what I mean? Like, I feel sad for those people. You know what I mean? Like, I feel sad for people. Like, if you've never had a dude or, a partner in your life who has made you want to be that nasty, well, I'm sorry. Sorry to you. Like, if they not doing the job that well, I'm sorry to you, man. Like, I'm sorry.
Sorry to this man.
Like, I wish better for you. I wish better because I'm telling you, when you get better, oh, okay, you'll get it then. You'll see. You're like, oh,
this is what they was talking about on the other side. This is how the other people live.
I understand now. I get it. So it is what it is. I will say though, that y'all, if one more person has the audacity to put this record in the same regards is Trina or a Lil Kim, I'm gonna punch y'all in y'all face. Cause y'all know good and damn well. Kim and Trina was the queens of talking their talk. And they did it with so like I don't know if it I don't even know how to describe it. Like it was so effortless and just so like I think that's what made Kim so popular because Kim was just so like fly with it. Like it was just effortless out of her. It's not on the same level, and y'all know that. You know, it's not. So y'all stop trying to compare that to Kim. Cardi and Meg did their thing. They did a good record. Stop comparing these women, okay? Let them all shine on whatever, you know what I mean, on their own platforms. There's enough space for everybody.
Yeah. I just, for the life of me, I don't know. I just feel out, just reading down, looking at it, and then it's a couple of dudes on my timeline was like, well, I prefer a classic girl over like a Meg or something. I'm like, man, don't nobody even want you, though. That's what you get. Who
Listen.
cares what you prefer? And then you got, I don't know. I guess it was just for me, like a lot of women, like, this is not a role model song. I'm like, when the fuck did these people ever sign up to be role models?
Listen, I always ignore people like that because anybody who ever comes out their mouth to say that somebody who just because they are have a trip, got some type of fame to their name is supposedly a role model. I always side eye those people because I'm like, for real. So that's all it takes to be a role model in y'all lives is to be famous. y'all
Mhm.
got y'all need some more than just help because baby, fame should not be like y'all standard for y'all role models. That shouldn't be it. There's this. That shouldn't even actually be on the list, to be honest with you. But who am I?
I like my timeline this whole little past couple of days. I'm just like, child, okay.
Girl, listen, you know what you need to do. You need to start putting some of them using that little button on Facebook. Ignore. Ignore.
Listen, I took one dude, which I was like, look, I took him off my friends list too early because I'm like, I know this would have been triggering as fuck for him, but he was so foolish. I just deleted him off my friends list. He got back and requested me my friend again. Like, no, nigga, I know what I did when I took you off. That was intentional. It was not a Facebook mistake. Nothing. Goodbye.
Yeah,
But I
I've
know
had to
he.
do it. I've had to do it, girl, because I've had like literally. I think I want to say like a couple of years ago. I had to do like a massive removal of folks because that like there was a time where like this picture came out of a young lady where she was like naked with a guitar or something, and she was like, even if I'm naked, I'm not asking for it. And there was just like mad people running up and down the time, like dudes and females alike, talking about, oh no, if you in my house naked, blah blah blah, that mean blah blah. Woo, child. I was like, oh, let me go ahead and get rid of y'all because some of y'all out here sounding real rapey. Y'all got to get up off my timeline. Y'all feeding in the rape culture. Nope, can't do it. Get off my timeline. Off. You know what I mean? So I'm quick. I am so quick to remove some folks. I don't do it. Anywho, so I guess we can move on. I don't have any more hot topics listed on the list. So I guess we can move into relationships. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So start us off.
So my question is, what is the oldest, and I want to say and youngest age of a person you would date or marry?
Um. So I am 33 right now, and I will say maybe I could do 25, and that's a stretch. That's a stretch for youngest. 25 is a stretch for me, but I could maybe see because there are some people who when they hit 25 or they've surpassed a different level. I think 25 tends to be a milestone for some people. So 25 would be my youngest, and then for my oldest, I probably won't go any older than um maybe 37. So maybe like a 5 year difference. 4 or 5 year difference. So 37, 38. Because I just feel like I'm one of those people who I just feel like when you get to those big, huge huge age gaps, no matter what you do, y'all are just in different spaces in life. I don't care what nobody says. Y'all are in two very different spaces in life. Like, I feel like someone who is in their 40s or is entering in their 40s is in, like, their mindset is different. They've changed. They've lived a little bit more different life. Like, we don't like, our commonalities are different, and vice versa. Like, somebody who's in their 20s as opposed to their early 20s. Like, I remember my early 20s. We're not in the same space. So, like, I don't, I'm not a person, like, I don't knock anybody for doing the big age differences or age gaps. Like, if it works for you, by all means, but I don't think I've ever really seen huge age gaps like that actually be successful in work.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
I think for me, I'm 34. No, I'm 33 now. I don't, okay, listen, I'll be 34. So, I think the youngest would be 30. Um, yeah, I can't, yeah, 30. The oldest would be 40. So, yeah, I try and like, I know a lot of people like, oh, older men are trash too. So
Big
definitely wouldn't
facts.
go over 40. There's no
Woo!
reason to
Say that shit again.
there's no reason to have that huge age gap to be like, oh, older men are trash, sweetheart. Tried it, trash. Um, so yeah, definitely. And I just think far as young, I don't know if I would, I don't know. I guess I just have the stigma of 20s. Like, so you have to be at least 30. At least, maybe. Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I get it. I dig it. I dig it. Um, all right. So my question is sort of like a lifey question, and is, do you believe in like that whole 7 laws of attraction manifestation stuff?
Um, no, not really. um, I do believe in manifesting what you want, but I think with the laws of attraction, like you kind of get stuck on it, and it's like, okay, this is what I'm trying to do, but and it for me, like it had to fit kind of like perfectly, and not everybody may not be like that, but I don't really believe it. I because I think we have to make room for one-off things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm not. When I read, like I had like this whole reading, and she was like, "You should read the 7 laws of attraction and all this," and I'm like, "Okay." And I read it, and I was like, "Yeah, it's cool though." Like I think it's a stepping point. I will say that it's a
Mm-hmm.
stepping to kind
Mm-hmm.
of get to the point of you like, this is what I want, and let me kind of put out there what I want. But I, especially when it comes to dating, because people like, well, I don't get approached by none but married dudes. Be like, listen, them motherfuckers ain't got shit to lose. Because if you say no, they still got somebody at home. And people like, oh, that's the only thing that I attract, and I don't think that that's necessarily true. I just think that them just a different breed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, what about yourself?
So I am split. I'm like, I 100% believe in manifestation. Like, I definitely think that
Yeah.
you can manifest things into your life. Like, I when I think back on my life, and this was before I kind of knew what the term was. There have been multiple things that I have manifested um my way. You know what I mean? So I definitely believe in manifestation. But I am with you as far as the laws of attraction. Um I think it's a little too rigid. I think that it doesn't I would say it doesn't give enough wiggle room um to allow, like you said, to kind of just allow you for the one-offs or the I don't know, whatever you call it, just the natural things that occur in life. Just, oh, okay, yeah, you know what I mean. So I'm with you. Like, the laws of attraction is like, I've researched it, looked it up, and stuff like that. Just, it's an like I said, it's an interesting read, but I don't. Eh, I ain't like a huge fan of that one. But manifestation, I definitely
Yeah.
100% sold on it. Like, I've done it, so I definitely believe it can work. Um, but yeah, so that's it for me. As far as relationships, anything else?
No, nothing else for me.
All right, so pretty short as far as relationships are concerned. Any like new movies, books, TV, anything like that?
Um, nothing. Let's see, TV. Nothing for TV.
Any recommendations?
Um, so I have. This is just an indulgence. I love real estate. Um, and at this point, it's real estate that I can't afford. um, but I love just for again just the real estate. It's Selling Sunset. It's of course just a messy reality TV show because it's like 6 or 7 women or so and like 2 guys. But it's like in Hollywood or LA. And they selling like all these opulent homes and all of this. So love that. Um I'm trying to wait to binge watch like Moesha because it's so much good stuff coming on Netflix. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait to binge watch that, and then that way I can move on to the next show, and I always have something to watch. So just that, and I think that's pretty much it. Um, and just put it out there when we was talking about think pieces. I'm tired of y'all think pieces on Moesha as well. She was a teenager. Goodbye.
Listen, oh my god, listen, you are so right there. Like, when I tell you, I don't know if like our minds was in sync in that moment, because I was just like, "Ooh, she sure did mention Moesha." Damn, if I read another Moesha thing,
Listen, I'm like, she's a fucking teenager. And they was like, she's toxic. I'm like, what the fuck? What is wrong with y'all?
who
Listen,
wasn't toxic when they was a
right.
kid?
I'm like, in high school, I'm like,
Look,
bitch, you were just
y'all,
trying to figure out some shit.
everybody was toxic because everybody was trying to figure out they shit. But yeah, I fully that's what I have to when it comes to all those shows. Like, when I saw them drop that list of all the shows that were like getting ready to come back, I was like, I have to prep myself now for this 2020 crowd of new woke folks, as I like to call them. I have to prepare myself for all the 50 million think pieces that are going to come along with every show, because you already know they're going to find an issue with every. I mean, they literally found an issue with Martin. They said Martin was a colorist because he was always picking on Pam, as opposed, and he was married to Gina. And I just was like, they'll find anything. So I just have to prepare myself for every and anything. I already knew with Moesha though. I knew they was gonna tear Moesha apart, because even when I was a kid and I used to watch Moesha used to get on my goddamn nerves with some of the shit that she did. And her daddy used to irritate the fuck out of me sometimes too, because
Oh, Frank.
I was just like, Frank, you gotta chill the fuck out. Like that episode where he called her a hoe, I was like, oh damn,
Listen, like,
Frank, you out of order, sir. But yeah, so needless to say, I was prepared for. I already knew they was gonna come for Moesha ass. But nonetheless, so I'm just preparing myself when all the rest drop. I fully expect when 1-on-1 come on, they gonna come for that. Even though I don't know how though, because 1-on-1 was just a really good, cute show. Maybe until after she like left and went off to, I guess, college or whatever. Like when she was in high school and it was like the show was really what it was based on her coming to live with her daddy or whatever like that. Like I liked her and Flex's dynamic, but when they try to do like the spinoff where she was grown and it focused just on her and you didn't see Flex as much, I didn't really care for that part of it. The second half of, but it's the same with Moesha. Like I thoroughly enjoy like the aspects of like when she was in high school and all that part. But like when they shifted to like where they tried to make her all, when she was in college and tried to, I guess, make the subject matter more intense and more drama-y, it wasn't for me after that either. So nonetheless, anything else?
Nothing else for me.
All right, so really quickly, I'm going to give you guys the nerd moment of the week. As you guys know, this is my favorite portion of the show. Since we missed last week, and I was supposed to give you guys a review of the Umbrella Academy season 2, I'm going to give it to you this week. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I will give it, I'll say an A-, just because, and the reason I'm giving it an A-, I'm going to give it an A-, B+. So like it's like right in that area. The reason is because it has the same issue that the first season had for me, which is that it starts out slow. But I find that with a lot of Netflix shows, they tend to start out slow. So that's my main issue with it. But other than that, it was really good. Like I super enjoyed it. I love seeing the black man who, if you ever watched the originals, like he played the witch on the originals. Him and the black girl on there, they were so cute. And like how because they were in the, like they went back in time to like the 60s or whatever. So seeing them kind of deal with, and she, her being like in the Umbrella Academy and all of that, she really didn't deal with a lot of like racism. She grew up with like a all of them like of different races and all that shit like that, and how she was raised. So to see her kind of be slammed right in the 60s in the middle of like the civil rights movement and deal with all of that from like sit-ins to like it was really good. Like I 100 fully recommend for y'all to watch the Umbrella Academy season 1, season 2. Super good show. You will thoroughly enjoy it. You will not be disappointed. I don't want to give too much away because I don't know how many people have seen it. It's still in the top 10, like it's still like the number 1 show, so I know that a lot of people are still watching it. So I don't want to give like too many spoilers, but really, really good. You will enjoy it. Second review is of Upload. I watched it on Amazon Prime. I also think you can watch it on Apple. Don't know for 100%. But anyway, I watched it on Amazon. It was a good show. I was surprised. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I was bored in the middle of the night, so I checked it out. It was also a good show. I hate cliffhangers, and it ended on a cliffhanger. The only reason I hate cliffhangers nowadays, anyway, especially, is just because you never know if shows are gonna get a second season or not. Like a lot of shows die off after 1 season, so it spoiler, it does end on a cliffhanger, a really big cliffhanger at that. But nonetheless, it was a good show. It was enjoyable. It's short, so for those of y'all out there who do not like super long shows or whatever like that, it's only like 10 episodes. and they feel like they're short episodes in my opinion, but nonetheless, it's a good show. It's interesting. It'll hold your attention if you're into um stuff like futuristic stuff, because it really it's based on, like, I think they're in 2030 something or whatever, and it's like super like high tech futuristic. Like basically the concept is like instead of dying, they can transport your consciousness into like, I guess it's supposed to be like a heaven, and then your consciousness can sit and wait until they can figure out on, what, however many years down the road, how to transfer your consciousness back into a body so you can live again. Anyway, I don't know if I would ever consider or want to do that, and that's something that they talk about in the show. The people who are kind of against that because they feel like it's unnatural, but interesting concept. It was an interesting show. I enjoyed it. I'd give it like a solid B. And that's pretty much it. Oh, the final thing, and this is just a quick little plug, the DC fandom is happening on August 22nd, so make sure y'all check that out if you're interested in stuff like that. And that's it for me as far as the nerd moment of the week. Anything else on your end, Falan DeAnn?
Nothing else for me.
All right, so then per usual, want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we will be back next week. Bye, guys.
Good night.